Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at Turbo Pug DX. Now this is a game that I got for free. It sells for about $1. It was probably given away, if I was to guess, via the Humble Bundle. Turbo Pug DX is theoretically the I would assume, sequel or improved version of a game by this publisher called Turbo Pug. This publisher, Back to Basics Gaming, as a publisher, seems to have published quite a lot of games that are mixed reviewed or negative reviewed, but then there is a larger than average handful of highly reviewed games too. You can see this isn't a very polished game. The credits are just down here in the tiniest of fonts that I can't read. Your high score, your last score, your pug points, your name. Like, why is it anonymous? I guess just because you'd have to click there and change it. Music snappy. Generally speaking though, I don't like this 8-bit retro aesthetic in games that are new. I'm perfectly fine with something like that if it is an old game, because then there's a reason for it. But look at a modern Zelda game, look at a modern Mario game. None of them use the 8-bit retro aesthetic as their only art style. Sometimes you might get a level or a section that does a little bit of a throwback, but you don't try to sell your entire game on it. And what inherently it means on Steam when somebody has an 8-bit aesthetic is that they just aren't very good at art. And that seems like that very well could be the case here, because this is just ugly. This two-color gradient mix between white and pink, this font style, which probably is just a free open source font. There is quite a lot of songs here, which is more than I've seen in a lot of the other games that I've played this November. Option wise, you can actually turn the music and the sound effects up and down from 100 or off altogether. You can reset progress and reset options, and I think that's all we really need to know. Now, this is a Unity game. This does not, in my opinion, fall under what I generally call a one-screen Unity game, because we will be moving a character from the left to right. But it did seem to indicate that there would be controller support. However, right now, I am not seeing any controller support. So, yes, there is controller support, but only in the actual game. In the menu, not so much, which kind of makes it useless, because you would then have to switch from a mouse, which is what I'm doing right now, to this. Now, here's the problem with a lot of what I'm seeing here. Gosh, really? Is there no button on the controller that starts the game? Options. Maybe you have to set the program. So let's just play with the mouse then. So you're clicking with the mouse. You can't stop running. There's no retry, no reset function. This looks like more than likely what is going on here is they've bought a Pug asset at the Unity store. They've bought some levels, some parallaxing backgrounds at the Unity asset store, and they bought some crates, and they bought some spikes, and that's kind of it. This is an incredibly simple game, and it seems to only really cycle between 3 different levels. And clearly I'm not far enough away, I'm not far enough in the game to unlock anything. We have these pug points, but let's see, you clearly need more than 15 to unlock a new character. I doubt a character changes anything. Wow, look how drastically the scenery is changing. That's 25. It seems like the game may have decided to go easy on me and allow me to get more points. Seems like it's trying to have a Christmas theme on this. What is the DX part about this game? I could be kind of nice to it and say, yeah, I'm glad it's widescreen. I'm glad the game doesn't crash immediately, but this is not a game. This is Flappy Bird. Just those very simplistic, bad, single concept games that really aren't worth playing. If this was a game you wanted to play, I'm fairly certain you wouldn't want to play it on PC with a mouse, or you could have a keyboard and tap on the space button, or you could switch from a mouse to a controller to press the A button. There's clearly not enough variety here. Some of these jumps don't seem like they're doable, in the sense that you just die. Now, in a lot of games like this, you could probably expand the concept and turn it into a more realistic game experience. Clearly 150 points is still not enough. You could have checkpoints, and maybe there are checkpoints in this game and they're just really far away. Clearly the letters are supposed to spell something, probably Turbo Pug DX. There's achievements in this game, but I would hardly call this an achievement game unless all the achievements just unlock for playing the game for a certain amount of time. The moon is moving way too fast. The fact that the night and day cycle and the weather cycle move so quickly tells me that even in their own game testing, they realized people wouldn't even see these features unless they happened incredibly quickly. But yeah, a checkpoint system, a rewind system, a life system, something to move this further ahead. Maybe Turbo Pug is a little bit slower. Pac-Man Championship Edition DX was certainly a game that was designed around the idea of 215, still not enough Pug points. That is a game that is designed around speed, Pac-Man Championship Edition, but it also happens to have the, well, I guess spelling Turbo Pug consistent throughout different runs, so they're throwing you a bone that way. Like anytime they put one of these boxes, you die because it's always in the middle, and there's no air control here. You don't hold down the button longer and go higher. It's a same jump. Why did I get multiple things? Same height if you click quickly or if you hold down. Yeah, this is really just the 2D version of so many asset flip games that get on Steam. And this always puts me in a weird position because many of the games that I've played for Never Gonna Play It or Never Gonna Finish It November, honestly, I have considered, if I didn't get them for free, which Steam would probably know that, and not give me a refund anyways, as a YouTuber, I really can't ask for a refund even if I want to, because I've made a video on it, and theoretically potentially made some profit off of making a video out of it. Although in all practicality, I really haven't, since my channel is not monetized at the moment and hasn't been for a year, and is only via Patreon or by people gifting me other games on Steam can people even support my channel at all. And I was pretty iffy about even e-begging for that much. Seems like you might get some bonuses if you jump really close to the edge of boxes. But it's probably not worth it. We're now at 350 and you still can't unlock anything. And no online skins are found, which tells me that their servers are probably down. And a lot of the games in this Never Gonna Finish It November series have ended up like this, where there's really not a lot to say here. Like it's hard to criticize a game that really is just a few small scenes that merge together. Let's try this. Let's see if we were to just turn the music off completely and see what the sound effects sound like alone. Pretty simplistic. You have a landing sound effect, you have a collecting sound effect, you don't have a jumping sound effect, you have a rain sound effect, and you have a death sound effect. So you kinda need that music going to... Music sweeps between what seems like only 2 songs. Like, I never heard this song, so this must be in some later level. Like, this one's new too. So 2 songs I haven't heard. Haven't heard that one. Haven't heard that one. Haven't heard that one. I guess I kinda have to applaud this game for giving you a soundtrack for 99 cents, since so many bad games. But you can't pick the song you want to hear as you're playing. That was a different layout. So the jukebox kind of is useless if you actually wanted to listen to a specific song while playing. Yeah, there are way too many games on Steam that try to sell the soundtrack for 99 cents. It's not a big thing for me to complain about, however, because, I mean, really whatever. If you want the soundtrack, either pay the 99 cents or find it through some other means. Or, there's really only been one game. Hey, I'm making it to a further section. Yeah, I guess maybe there's slightly more game in the game content than it immediately felt like. But that really just depends on how far you can get into the groove and go. But this is missing checkpoints, it's missing rewind abilities, it's missing difficulty settings, it's just having you play the same game over and over again. And when Steam came out with the no questions asked, or minimal questions asked, I suppose, refund policy for games you've played less than 2 hours, people were somewhat concerned about games like this, where people could have their fill of the content and ask for a refund. I think that's okay with me. It's not a great situation if somebody is actually getting their money's worth of enjoyment out of a game and then asking for a refund. But even in Steam will look at you funny if you do it too often. So, like, I wouldn't recommend asking for a refund more than once every couple of months, in between multiple purchases. But I kind of don't see a big problem with games like this not being allowed to really exist and be valued at any amount at all, even 99 cents. A lot of people make games on Steam and think they are worth 99 cents. In fact, the floor has actually fallen out of that, and now a lot of games that really no person in their right mind would ever play are selling for 60 cents. Whereas there's still a lot of games that also are selling for like $20 when they shouldn't be on sale at all. This is totally the kind of game that I would say is a demo. This would be a good third or fourth year of video game programmers, video game programming students demo or thesis project. This would get you an A or a B, although perhaps it fails to show any knowledge of game theory and just how the game markets in modern time work. But this really isn't a game that people should buy or play. I'm not very heavy for a curated experience on Steam. If you want a curated experience, go to Good Old Games, because that's what they offer. But I am for what I call very low effort games not being on Steam. Steam has a different category for games that often overlap that category, called trolling games. I don't think this falls in either of those categories, but it gets dangerously close. What mostly would justify this game not being allowed on Steam in some future point is the fact that this probably is an exact copy of Turbo Pug, with maybe the run speed increased slightly, and that is called duplication, and that is one of the trolling categories that Valve has promised to remove publishers and their games. I just rolled on a ball of lightning, and that was cool and all, but what did that do? Like, I'm at 725 things, and it's still not enough to even buy the second character. So that's been about 20 minutes, and Turbo Pug DX is basically garbage. It's not a game that I really would have purchased, and thank goodness I didn't. I got it for free. I probably got it for free because it's not very good. It's not horrible, and this really doesn't even fall into the 8-bit artistic style that I thought it was. It's closer to a 16-bit Super NES style, but often that art style is just there, like I said, to hide the fact that you're not very good at graphics and you don't really have any custom art. All of this looks like this could have easily been purchased from the Unity Asset Store. It's just nothing special here. I'm not sure I'd ever want to play an Infinite Runner game on Steam, but if I did, I would want a lot of things in it. It would probably need to be free, not free to play. It would probably need to unlock some things. There have been some good Infinite Runner games on cell phone, on Android, and I played them for more time than I probably should have. This just isn't one of them. And if this wasn't supposed to be an Infinite Runner game and this was supposed to be just a platformer game, which Steam is full of bad platforming games also, Well, this still fails pretty badly because there's no enemies and there's no gameplay mechanic. It's just always running and trying to collect the one collectible in the game. There's not really even any variety in the collectible. And for as much as you may love pugs and dogs, the game doesn't really satisfy much there either. So any angle you look at this, is just a, if not very low effort game. It's definitely a low effort game. That's going to be it for this recording. I end all my recordings the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game you'd like to see me cover, or a game off my wish list, or just a gift card, or you can support me directly through Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.